I'm 20 years old, and I work at a Burger King in a small town. I am closed all the time, which means that I often stay late in the evening. Generally, I leave around 1 or 2 in the morning. For a little context, the room closes an hour before the drive, which means that from 11 p.m. to midnight, I only have my headset to speak with customers. I have no visual of them via a camera or other, only a small sound coming from the terminal, which alerts me to their presence. Please note that once this ringtone is activated, all the sound is transmitted to anyone wearing headphones in the restaurant, even if no one answers you. So at midnight, the drive closes, and I go out to pull the flag to block potential cars that might not have seen the timetable. The drive-through of my restaurant goes through the back of the building where the service store is and through where I have to enter. Except that when I approach it, there is a silhouette in the dark, waiting for me. At first, I'm not too stressed because it's a joke that one of my former managers already told me, holding it in the dark to scare me. But then I remember that my manager, who we'll call Arthur, is on break, and that I saw him through the windows of the drive-through which overlooked the room, and that he couldn't cross the restaurant so quickly. The man starts to walk forward, and since the drive is no longer lit, I can't see his face. Seeing him getting closer and closer, I decide to move back to the famous window so that Arthur can see me. But he is on his cell phone and does not notice me, and the man is closer and closer. In the end, I remember that I can activate the terminal by standing in front of it without the person knowing that my manager will hear what is happening. So I stand in front and I hear ringing in my headset, which means that from now on, Arthur can hear me if I don't move from in front of the sensor. A few seconds later, I hear Arthur's voice asking me what I'm making, standing in front of the terminal because it makes it ring, and it's very annoying. After several more seconds of no response, I hear the back door of the restaurant open and I see my manager coming out with his cell phone light. The man is now stuck between the two of us. He runs past me screaming, pushes me to the ground, and disappears into the parking lot. About 5 minutes later, a gendarmerie car passes and knocks on the main door of the restaurant, even though we called no one other than my franchisee Marie to find out what to do, and she told me to wait until she arrives to call them. In the end, they were looking for a teenager who had escaped from the pediatric ward of the hospital next door. Marie arrived a few minutes later and gave them access to the surveillance cameras. In the end, he was found at the station a few meters away. We got news a few days later. The final explanation is that he saw me going out and thought he could steal my cell phone, which I'm not allowed to have with me when I work anyway, to call his girlfriend and have her come pick him up. Marie refused to show me the surveillance videos, but she told me that I had been very lucky that evening. The cameras have night vision so you can see everything. It was a scare that happened to me a little over a month ago. I don't know what happened if he succeeded his plan. Subscribe for more story.